What's up, everybody? Dirtbag Gaming here, the channel for casual raiders. We did another Faction Wars 21 Demon Spawn this time. A little bit unorthodox. We did have some legendaries in this run. There are some epics that you can use instead of them. We'll go over them at the end. But as usual, we're going to go through the run. This is already recorded. This is the second time I did it. I did it the first time on my phone at 11 minutes. This time we did it in, I think, like 9 minutes or something. But we're going to do the run. We're going to show you the guys, mastery, skills, all the fun stuff. But you can see my team is leading off with, what's her name? The Nizana. So Nizana has so much HP. She provides shield. She provides the ally protection, which, saves, because there's not a lot of healing in Demon Spawn. But what I did was I did the mastery on a lot of them that you can heal if you're below 40%, and I put up the leeches on my Prince Kymars so that if they do stun or sleep somebody, it puts up a leech. So then everybody who hits that person can then heal. So the whole goal of this is I put 2 stun sets on my Prince Kymars. I was very tempted to put a stun set on Nizana as well, just to get kind of 3 stuns going. But I just like, all right, let's just bring in the shield because she already has a ton of HP. And I boosted up her accuracy a little bit so that way she can land her decreased attacks. Because on the boss, decreased attack is just going to help out so much. But the person I was worried about the most was Enchantress. She doesn't have any healing. And she puts up the provokes, so they always just go after her. So I always got to make sure that she is not taking as much damage, and I can try and control the waves. So just notice all the stuns. Like there's 3 stuns right now, and then Allure is amazing for the Faction Wars if you have her level up. She's good in Doom Tower as well, so you're not going to go wrong leveling her up to 60. But really it's just attacking the person that's not stunned. And just so many poisons with 2 Prince Kymars. They always have 100% accurate or a crit rate, so they're always putting up poisons. Unless they get resisted because of the bad affinity. But here you got 3 Valkyries, so you got to try and not put up buffs. So when she goes, I try not to do that. Like I switch and I do the normal attack because the Valkyries will just go and I'll lose. So we want to provoke. We didn't get that provoke off right there, but I still have a chance to stun, which we did stun. And then Allure is just trying to control the turn meters as much as possible. She also is at 100% crit rate. So anytime she crits, she controls the turn meter. So we don't get attacked a lot during these waves. This was also, I think, the Dark Elf one, like the same kind of setup. So as long as you can control the Valkyries with either stuns or turn meter or slow speed, it should be a lot easier for you guys. So really just focus on champions that can do either AoE stuns or AoE slows, and you should be good to go. So there you go. We just got our first attack, but it was a provoke attack, so we weren't really worried about it. Now this Valkyrie up front still hasn't been stunned yet and is not provoked. So there you go. I put her sleep on, but she has leech now, so my guys are able to heal. So if you have anybody that can put up a stun or sleep, make sure that you have leech attached to that so the way your guys are healing as well. All right, so then we're trying to do decreased attack, just a little bit more damage. The Valkyrie in front is still not stunned. So here you go. Laura's going to attack it, take down the turn meter, and then we should be good to go. So there's just so many poisons on her that she's probably going to die. And I couldn't even see the turn meter in the back because there's so many poisons on the one up front. So that was perfect because Prince Kymar was then able to stun everybody and take away all the counterattacks, which was awesome. So that worked out just so well with RNG. There you go. Everybody died to the poisons. Arrow, I don't even think went yet. So we just got to the boss in 3 minutes. And again, I did this already, completing it, so I kind of knew that it worked already. So I didn't really have to waste too much time thinking about what I'm going to do next. I just wanted to attack A1s all the time. So the goal of the boss is he does 2 random attacks. Let me pause this. He attacks 2 random people, which it's random. So if they attack my Allure, I'm kind of screwed. The first time I lost with this, they kept going after my Allure, and Allure died. So I had to put up more HP on her. So I actually took off some gear from like my Draco and somebody else and boosted up her HP to like 43,000 or something. So we already got the first stun off on the left side. I'm trying to take down the ads first. If you take down the ads, this boss becomes a lot easier. Now, you're not going to be able to kill the boss unless you take down the ads. This is the boss where it heals them like so much. I think it heals for like 80,000 or 100,000 or something. And they take away buffs and block revive and all that fun stuff. Allure, every time she goes, you just want her to attack the boss. puts up a true fear on everybody, which is annoying. But every time Allure goes, just aim it for the boss. Don't aim it for the ads, just go for the boss, because you want to try and decrease the turn meter as much as possible. Everything else is I'm literally just trying to put up poisons and trying to stun or CC the ads. They don't really attack, they literally just buff the boss. Now you can try and strip those buffs, which I do. So now the boss gets rid of his increased defense and his increased speed. So obviously Prince Kymars is very good for this. But again, leeches are up. So anytime that I'm low, I try and stun the ad so that way the leeches can go up. You can't put the leech on the boss because you're not going to be able to stun him. But at least the ads on the side, you can heal yourself with those leeches. So again, Allure is literally there just to do A1s. You don't want to do A2, A3, literally just doing A1s on Allure. And the right ad's about to go down. So at this point, I'm like, all right, I think I got it, because with Allure still being pretty high HP, I want to make sure that if I get feared, which everybody just did, I have to reset the cooldowns so that way Nizana can put up her... See, it was on cooldown. I have to reset the cooldown so that Nizana can put up her Ally Protect on Allure, so that way she doesn't die. So all my cooldowns are still done. Tried decrease attack. It went off, so that's great. And then Allure is literally... So once Allure gets to this stage, it's kind of like GG. Like Allure is literally just going to control the turn meter. Look, it goes all the way down, I think 75% every single time. So anytime you need to boost up Allure's speed, just use the Prince Kymar to boost up the speed. But Allure should go and be able to control the waves. It's a longer fight. Like I don't have any decreased defense. I don't have hard hitters. I literally just have turn meter control and a little bit of Ally Protect. That's it. But there you go. So went after Allure, but he had the Ally Protect up because she was frozen. So since she was frozen, she wasn't able to do that. And literally all she's doing is that the entire time. Prince Kymar is there just to put up the poisons and speed up if I need to. But I reset the cooldown on him up front, or her up front. But she's provoked, so she can't do it yet. And you don't need to put up the Ally Protect until Allure is frozen. Once Allure is frozen, then you should put up the Ally Protect, because you're going to waste it if you don't really need to. So yeah, I didn't need to do it because Allure is about to go. And make sure Allure has 100% crit rate, because this won't work if she doesn't. So turn meter just literally keeps going down. So fast forward, literally going, we're at 7 minutes now, but Allure's frozen, so then I have to put up the Ally Protect, because if she can't go, the boss obviously is going to go, so it didn't attack him at the time. So there's a Prince Kymar that's kind of getting low on health, so I just got to watch out for that. I can't put up any more leeches, so literally they just have to not die. But they're super high defense with my Prince Kymars, so I don't really have to worry about too much. I just want to try and make sure that get that attack down. If you get the attack down, it makes things so much easier. Then he's not going to hit anywhere near as hard. But Ally Protect, don't need it because Allure is provoked, but she's still going to do the A1. So she wasn't frozen, but she still did her A1 because she's provoked. So now we're getting to the very end. He's got a crap ton of poisons on him with attack down. So Allure is kind of like the MVP of this faction wars. So what do we got? Getting towards the end. What's the name? Umbral is definitely there for the ads and the CC. But Umbral for the boss is kind of such a good... I mean, her and Umbral kind of control the waves for you. And obviously with the Prince Kymars, you don't need two Prince Kymars. It's just... I had to fully kit it out Prince Kymar, so I was like, all right, let me just try some stun sets, and if the stun sets work on AoEs, you can literally use anybody that has an AoE to try and stun the other people. So first we'll go through the gear, we'll go through the champs, we'll go through the skills, and then I'll show you some other people that you can use for the faction wars instead of the Prince Kymars. So we got Umbral Enchantress. Everybody should know her, knows what she does. I have a couple guides on her, how to gear her, how to use her. But she has an A1 attack, damage increase to current HP decrease. So if her HP goes down, she does more damage. You don't really want it to go down in Faction Wars because I don't have a lot of healing. So if you have a lot of healing, you don't really mind this. This one is great because it stops the Valkyries putting up the shields and everything. So you can use this before you provoke. if you provoke, you have to make sure you have enough speed to get rid of the block cooldown buff. I don't have anybody that can strip it. So literally, I would probably do this first and try and tank the waves. So if you do this, just do this. But has an 80% up to 100% chance of putting in the block buffs. She's a void, so you need accuracy. And then finally, this is really good. Puts up an unkillable buff on herself and provoke on everybody. So again, 100% chance for 2 turns, which is amazing. Yeah, very, very good skill. Her masteries, I think I showed this before, but really going all the way down to accuracy. She's not doing damage at all, so it's literally just defense. I'd probably put up maybe this one, just so she can take a little bit more damage off your people, because she will be unkillable. Once she puts up the provoke, she's unkillable, so she's not going to die to this. And then going down to possibly this with the block buffs. So probably getting this just to have an extra 5% to put the block buffs up if you don't want to do the counterattack roll. So artifacts, we went with just basic artifacts that you get from the clan boss and 2 accuracy artifacts. But I wanted to be fast enough to go. Not too fast, because if she's too fast, she's going to get rid of her unkillable buff too soon. So you want her fast enough, like just fast enough to be faster than the waves. Then we have accuracy, speed, HP. HP, defense, speed. She didn't have a lot of HP when I first did this, so I needed to give her a little bit more HP, but as much defense as you possibly can get, so that way she can take the hits and not really die. And then speed for the boots. We have HP, defense, and accuracy. This could be 16 if you really needed it to, but we have 375 accuracy with all the masteries. We have an extra 66 there and 80 for the Great Hall. We don't have any crit rate, any of that stuff. 209 speed, that's what I was using. So it's not that hard to get up to the 209 speed. You can go a little bit slow because I don't think the ads are at 200. It's just in case you ever do the Valkyrie shield, you're gonna want her to control the Valkyrie. So she has to be faster than the Valkyries. 4,000 defense, which is pretty good, and 36,000 HP. If this was higher, it'd be even better. But that's kind of the stats for her. Next we got her. So I actually took off the shield set from my this guy. So I took 2 pieces off of him because she didn't have the best shield set on her. So I needed to have her a little bit more HP, a little bit more health, and more accuracy. So we got her all the way up to 83,000 HP. She already starts at 21,000. So she will boost a lot better with the HP artifacts. Definitely go as much HP as possible. Go with as much speed as possible. And you want accuracy. So accuracy, speed, and HP. That's literally all you're caring about with her. You don't really care about the damage because she's not there to do damage. She's there to put up her skills, which is this one. So attacks all enemies, has a 50% up to a 75% chance. If you book her, you don't need to book her. But this would be good if this was a 3-turn cooldown, because then you could really control the boss even better. But it's only 50% chance, so it's give or take gonna land it. This is why she's a leader. She increases ally HP in Faction Wars by 28%, so she goes from 80,000 up to like 90, 100,000 HP. Plays a 50% ally protect. This is great. Would be better if it goes down to a 3-turn cooldown, but again, I didn't want to waste the books on her because I'm not using her anywhere else besides Faction Wars. She puts a huge shield on herself and ally protect on everybody else, so very good for the boss and good for the Valkyrie waves if you don't control them. This one is the basic AoE tech. That's why if you wanted to put a stun set on her, you could, as long as her accuracy is up and the stun set's up. I wanted to go with the HP set because I don't have anybody else that could put an HP set on them unless I had somebody else besides my Prince Kymars. So instead of the stun set on her, I put them on the Prince Kymars, but we'll go over that in a little bit. The masteries, no masteries. I literally would just go down to probably this one. Anytime a hero drops below 25%, or if you have the stun set, definitely go with this. So either one, if you want to do a little bit more damage, go with the War Master route. So if you wanted to go attack instead of defense, go attack and accuracy. You could probably do that as well and get a sniper. So attack and accuracy is what I would do. Just go down to War Master so she is doing a little bit more damage on everybody, which would help out. And then the artifacts, we have as much HP and speed. We had some resistance, not a lot, but a lot of HP, a lot of speed. HP, no speed. Speed with HP main stat with speed and accuracy. and then a lot of speed, HP, and accuracy on the boots. Then I think we have HP with really good HP roll. I probably could have glyphed that out. HP there with accuracy, and then accuracy for the banner. You can go HP banner if you have enough accuracy. We were able to get a 204 with the banner, so I definitely needed the banner to be accuracy with as much speed as I can get. This was only 7 because I had the other 2 on my other Prince Kymars. But this is a total, again, around 80,000, and you should be good. The shields are really big, so you go with that. But if you can control the waves like we did, you probably don't need the shield. It only lasts 3 turns, and if you're controlling the waves enough with Allure and Umbral, you could probably put a sunset on her. Like, just get as much HP and speed and accuracy, and just put a sunset on her, and it'd probably be good, honestly, because you're probably too fast to not worry about the shield. Like, if the shield's placed, it's 3 turns. That's it. So then we got 2 Prince Kymars. So these are just basic. We got a stun set. So which one's my main? This one's my main one. So I took off I think he had like all speed on this, speed and accuracy set on this guy, and I just put him in a stun set. The stun set I used was my best stun set. We had my Sile stun set, and I think the one we used for... No, so we kept that one. So we used like 2 of the best stun sets I had. I put a sunset on this one a little bit ago, just to kind of test it out, and it actually worked. So that's why I put the main Prince Kymar in a stun set. His stats are really good though. So we have almost 50,000 HP, 2,700 defense, 216 speed. With the main stuff, he's at 260 speed, so his speed went down a lot. But you need to get him up to around 100% crit rate, because he's not going to put up the poisons unless there's 100% crit rate. So get him up as much crit rate as possible, and just make him tanky. 296 accuracy is due to the banner and the masteries. Sorry, we didn't have any masteries in this one. So I guess just the gear. We'll go over the gear, but the gear definitely helped out getting as much accuracy as you possibly can. The masteries, though, you need this for the stun set. The stun set masteries help out with this because this goes from 18% to 23%. So you have 23% chance for an AoE stun on the A1. And you're putting up poisons at the same time. So literally you're poisoning everybody and you're stunning everybody. This also works with sleep. So you basically can sleep them a little bit more because he does place a sleep. And this is to counterattack. So anybody who has an A1 AoE, this is perfect for them, especially in a stun set. This was on our Sylar as well. You can do this on your other girl we just went over, Nizana. So put that mastery on Nizana and it works the same exact way. And then just to do a little bit more damage, we got this one that I was talking about, the Life Drinker. Heals 5% of the damage inflicted when attacking 50% HP. So I don't have any healing besides this and the leeches. So I put this on both Prince Kymars. So 60% chance of placing a leech for 1 turn when placing a stun, sleep, fear, true fear, freeze. So they can sleep and stun. So it's like 2 chances to place the leech. It's very, very good and reduce some damage. So pretty basic. And then skills, one of them is like fully kitted out. So this one's fully booked. You don't need to have him booked. I haven't had him booked in like forever. Doesn't need the ore. It's an arena. And then the stuff we have is speed. Like I said, this is probably my best speed set. Defense, accuracy, speed. Speed, defense, accuracy. Accuracy, crit rate. You definitely need crit rate gloves to make it easier to hit 100%. If this was 60, I would be over 100%. HP with defense, crit rate, and then accuracy. So that's how I got it up so high accuracy, because we have 3-roll accuracy there, 2-roll accuracy there, accuracy there, 1-roll accuracy there, and then we have 29 accuracy there with crit damage, and then HP with accuracy there. So really good gear, stun set. I'm just going to be rotating the stun set to my Dwarf faction and then to my Bannerlords faction. So I'm going to make a video on how to make faction wars easier. It's literally just rotating the gear. So stay tuned for that. Hit the subscribe if you haven't, because that's going to be popping up probably next week once we finish all the faction wars. And then this Prince Kymar, stun set with attack. I wanted him to do a little bit more damage. That's why he has attack set, but he doesn't really do any more damage. Most of his damage comes from poisons. So let's go into speed, resistance, accuracy, crit rate, HP, wow, speed, defense, and then crit rate with gloves, obviously, and then defense with accuracy, HP, and speed. Speed boots with crit rate. We went with defense with HP rolls. Tack, this probably should be crit damage. I don't know if I've ever had a tack neck piece before, but I'm just realizing that it's probably because I got the accuracy roll on him. He's my second Prince Kymar, so I don't really use him that often. Mainly just 3v3 arena. So that's probably why I just kept him, was because the accuracy roll in that. That's all you need it for. And then accuracy for the banner with pretty good defensive roll, no speed, but he's also my ghost second Prince Kymar. So if I'm doing Doom Tower, I'm bringing this guy in because all my guys go first, and then he's last, so he resets everybody's cooldown. So I didn't want to boost up his speed any more than 189. But look at that, 100% crit rate, no crit damage, 260 accuracy, 42 HP, 3600 defense, like really good stats, especially for like a defensive attack-based champion. Skills, no books, and then Masteries, kind of the same thing. We weren't able to get the tier 6. I didn't want to farm Minotaur anymore, but it would be the same thing, getting down to this to increase the stun set. And then we went accuracy on this one instead of this one. I probably should go with the Life Drinker, but again, I didn't want to. Can I reset for free? Yeah, so I have one reset, so I'm going to reset them back to damage and then accuracy for my PvP. So that is the second Prince Kymar, and then finally, where do we go? 2 Prince Kymars, Allure. So Allure is made for my Doom Tower. I switched her up a lot. I took off the 2, what do we have? We had one, I had this helmet on her, so I took off my Draco helmet because I needed more HP. So it was this helmet. It had accuracy, HP, crit rate, and speed. So this was a very, very good helmet for her. And then my gloves, I took off of Skull Crusher. So Skull Crusher had these 60% crit rate gloves with crit damage, accuracy, and HP. So I needed that to get up to 100% accuracy or crit rate. So her total stat, she did have 100% crit rate. This was an extra 60%, so it was 95, and then plus whatever the helmet had. The speed was high. It was like 215, 220. You don't really care about these stats, but then the HP, you want her HP to be, I think it was around 43,000 to 47,000. But she was dying too fast on the boss. If she got hit too many times on the boss, she would just die. So she needed a lot more HP. But again, make sure you have 100% crit rate so that way it does reduce the turn meter, and you need accuracy. So this was around 270 or so accuracy with the 2 pieces that are off of her, but she needs a life stat. So once I put her old gear back on her, she's going to be good. She's good for Doom Tower, so definitely level her up to 60. She's going to help out in a lot of Doom Tower bosses, so definitely worth it. Worth it to also book out. I didn't put any books on her. I'm sorry, not worth it to book out because you only really need her for this. It's not a percentage. It's literally just reduces the turn meter if you crit on each critical hit. So literally you don't need books for this. This reduces the cooldown by once, but you're not really doing this that much. And this hits pretty hard, except you're not really doing this because you're mainly focused on this. So that's probably why you don't need books on her. She has an accuracy aura. I didn't really need it in Faction Wars. If you need to put her up front, you're losing, I think it's like, what, 28%? Yeah, you're losing 28% HP, which I'd rather do this over the accuracy. Her artifacts, we had accuracy banner with speed, HP, really good ring right here, HP, that's 22% extra HP right there. We have speed boots, HP chest piece, speed on there with some crit rate, and then speed with HP and a little bit resist. So yeah. Masteries, we went all the way down because I do use her a lot. We are in the, where are we? We are right here. So Giant Slayer, she does have a 3-hitter on her A1. So you want to do this to kind of do a lot more damage. And then this does more damage. This does more damage with her A1. I probably should have got this one instead of this one, so she can heal herself even more. She does get hit, so this is increases speed for every enemy she's killed. So maybe Doom Tower, it's better, but for bosses, it's better for this. So good life drinker if you don't have a lot of healing, but then accuracy route, this definitely is great. And then this is if anybody dies, it stacks up to 24%. Do you need this? You could probably go sniper. or this if you're really worried about her A2 stuff. But you just want to do damage, so we're going down this route. Lore, great champion, very very good. So those are our champions. Now the champions you can use. Let's go to our index. I've seen so many Faction Wars video, it's crazy. So hopefully you're enjoying this one so far. We got right here. So there's a new champion right here. I was thinking about testing him. He does have a way to CC. So he puts up a block debuff, which is great for the boss, and a strengthen, which is great for the boss. And then this one has a chance to put up HP burn on the enemies, because it puts up an HP burn if the enemies whose defense, usually the Valkyries and stuff, puts up an HP burn. It freezes the attack-based champion, so it'll CC the attack-based champions. And then this one has 30% chance to decrease the duration of random buff if you're under HP burn, which most of the time it will be, and 30% chance to increase the target's turn meter by 15 if you're under freeze. So it also works on the ads for the boss. But the passive is kind of why I was going to bring him if I didn't pass it. I was going to take out a Prince Kymar and put in this guy. Heals all allies by 5% of their max HP each time an enemy under HP burn gets a turn. So this is if you can't control the Valkyries enough, they're going to be taking turns, but then you're healing your guys by 5%. That was my thought. So potentially, I mean, he's pretty good defense, not really fast, but you're kind of there just to go defensive route and healing route. So that was an option. This girl, very very good. I just picked her up, so she's still level 1, but decreased attack on an A1, which is amazing. Decreased accuracy, which is great for the boss and some of the ads. But putting up a decreased accuracy on the boss in Faction Wars, I've noticed, helps out so much with the resistance. Like, you don't need that much high resistance if you put that up. And then removes all buffs from the target and place them on this champion. So basically you can attack either the boss and remove this, or one of the Valkyries and you remove all of their buffs. So you remove their counterattack, all that stuff. So again, very very good champion and defensive. So if you have her, use her. And then I had this guy, which I was also very tempted to do if I didn't pass it. I was thinking about putting up a stun set on him, just as much accuracy as possible in stun set, so you can put up the block buffs on the enemy champion for the Valkyries. So basically 90% chance of putting the block buffs. Pretty good chance. You can unlock Peril, so he'll just hit really really hard on a Valkyrie. Increases speed in all battles by 24%, and puts up a heal reduction on, I don't know if it works on the boss, but it might. But yeah, so that was the other option. Who else? This girl heals. So if you wanted to kind of make her your healer, you can. Put a stun set on her. It's an A1 stun set. Attacks all enemies, stun, and then puts up a perfect veil if anybody's close to dying. So she also is a very, very good option to put a stun set on and heal for 5% of the damage inflicted. So put War Master on her and 100% crit and all that fun stuff. Who else? This girl I ran for a while. She just didn't really heal or do anything, so she boosts up the speed. But if you're controlling waves, you don't really need the speed as much, and then fills the turn meter. So you can decrease. So she's good. If you want to put a stun set on her, she has attacks all enemies and decrease turn meter by 15%. But this is a go down to 3 turn cooldown because she's a rare, and you're able to potentially stun all enemies right there. So possibly stun set for the Diabolist if you want to go faster. This guy also stun set, decrease speed, which is great. Provides a little bit of healing and reflect damage, and puts up a block damage buff on one ally. So also very very good champion. Increases ally defense in 19% if you want to use him. And I think that's all that I've seen so far. Her had her. I think she's free. She heals, so I've seen a couple of people run her, but I was like the type where if you only use her in one instance, like Faction Wars, like leveling her up to 60 and then like never using her ever again, it's such a waste, especially for casual raiders. But if you want to level her up to 50, try her at 50. Heals allies by 3% of this champion's HP anytime they're on a speed debuff, so right here. And if you pair her with Diabolist, no, who reduces the speed? Somebody reduces speed, I think. Whoever reduces speed, you should pair her with. I mean, she reduces speed herself. It might just be her. She puts up the reduced speed on everybody. So attacks one enemy has a 50% chance of placing a 30% increased speed, has a 50% chance of placing a 30% decreased speed on all enemies with 2 turns instead. So you want her crit. So once she crits, she puts up decreased speed, and then she's able to heal. So it is on, I think, a 2 turns, so you could basically be able to heal a lot. With this, you can put it on the boss, so that way on the boss you're healing every single time she attacks. She decreases the damage on all the allies, so your allies are taking less damage, and she provides HP in faction wars by 30%. So if you really want to use her, level her up to 50, put really good gear, HP gear, and crit rate on her, and speed. Make her as fast as you possibly can. You need accuracy for this, but if you get the booked out, it's up to, I think, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100% chance. So you have 100% chance, as long as you're around 200 accuracy, you should be good. Cool. So another good champion, but really only for faction where you're not really going to use her anywhere else. So those are my insights on the demon spawn. Let me know what you guys thought about it. Hopefully, if you do have a Prince Kymar, 100% use them. Put them in a stun set. You saw how good it is. And it's very good for taking away the Valkyrie buffs as well. So guys, let me know what you thought about it. We got Dwarves and who else? Bannerlords next. I think we're going to focus on Bannerlords because I have more 60 Bannerlords. But let me know what you want to see. We're going to do a my secrets guide on how to beat faction wars coming up probably next week if we beat all the faction wars. But appreciate it. Good luck with everything, guys. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in another video soon.